If you've been wanting to know how to make okpa, or you've been searching for an idea or maybe something to make you learn how to make okpa, then search no more, for you at the right place. So today my mom is making okpa and I decided to share the knowledge with you. So after putting the okpa in the bowl, you put oil, you pour in your oil and then mix properly. You use your hands. After washing your hands, you use your hands to mix the okpa properly. So you can't skip this step because it's very important. This particular step is what will make the okpa fluffy at the end of the day. You're going to mix this properly until the okpa in the bowl is no longer white. Yes, you're going to mix it very, very well. So if you really want to learn okpa, you're going to have to listen and then watch closely. Yes, so at this point my mom noticed that the okpa was not going to be enough. It was not going to be enough, so she had to add okpa again, and then you have to add another oil and then mix it properly. You're going to mix it again one more time. So guys, as you can see, it's all mixed up and there's no white okpa anywhere. It's now a yellow color. So you go in with your hot water. Make sure the water is a boiled water. Yes, I know many people will be like, if I'm going in with a hot water, it's going to burn my hands and all that. No, after going in with a boiled water, you go in with a little bit of cold water. Yes, no pain, no gain. So it's going to be hot, but you're going to have to endure. So you mix this properly. So you're not going to go with all the water once. You're going to go in with water at it, like you pour in little and then mix, pour in and then mix, so that your okpa will not end up being runny. So you are going to pour in little and then mix and make sure it turns out to be uniform. Guys, don't be misled. For those of you that are using wigs to make okpa, in mixing your okpa, you are doing the wrong thing. The right thing is to use your hand. You wash your hand and use it to mix this okpa very well. Otherwise it will not give you what you want. Use your hand and mix it properly, and make sure it's no longer lumpy. As you can see now, the lumps in the okpa have reduced. It's no longer as lumpy as it used to be. So guys, if you watch up to this point, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yes, subscribe to my channel so that you will get more of this. Yes, different tutorials that will keep your brain active 247. You know I love you all and I always like to bring the best to your screen. So guys, subscribe for more. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video. Yes, don't be stingy, so that others can learn too. There are many people that want to know how to make okpa, but they don't know. So share this video so that others can learn as well. And don't forget to ask questions. Yes, if you have any question, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. I know most of you will be eager to know, how do I know when to stop mixing? So as you can see, the okpa is beginning to, the mixture is drawing at this point. You see how it's doing like obono. So when you know that you're doing the right thing is when you start having something like this, when the texture is something like this. Yes, once you're having something like this, then you know that you're doing the right thing. So do you see how it's drawing? Do you see? So as you can see, this is how it's drawing. So if you have something like this, then just know that you're doing the right thing. So number one thing to make sure, or to put in place when making an okpa, make sure you get the okpa right from the source, because in Nigeria, the rate of inflation is getting higher. So most of these market women, in order to get gain, they end up mixing flour into the upper so that they can be able to get gain. They end up mixing flour or something into the upper. So, but if you want to get the original upper, make sure you buy the upper. So this is what it looks like. So make sure you buy it and then grind it and then take it home for, you could as well, you could store it in a cool and dry place. And then number two thing to make sure is that when making this opam, make sure you use a very good palm oil. Yes, make sure the oil is a very good, because making opa, your palm oil could just be the thing that will spoil that opa. Yes, your palm oil could just mess the whole thing up. So make sure it's a good palm oil you're making use of. And then the third thing to note, make sure that the water you're using to mix this opa is boiled. Like, make sure it's a boiled water you're using, and then after putting the boiled water, you can go in with a little bit of cold water, but make sure the water is boiled. Don't go and make the water warm and then use it to mix the upper like that. It will not come out well. Ensure that you mix this thing well, which is why I advise you to use your hands so that you can be able to mix it well, so that there will be no lumps. And ensure that when tying your upper, like when you put it into the nylon, ensure that you tie it tight, as in don't leave any air spaces inside the upper. Otherwise your upper will not come out the way you want it to. So you have to make the nylon airtight. So you have to tie it very well. So do you see why I said you should go in with water bit by bit, so that you can be able to gauge the amount of water you're going in with? Because if you decide to pour everything at once, right, your upper might just end up running. So you go in with water bit by bit, so that you can be able to gauge the amount of water you are putting, because this upper is not meant to be very thick. Yes, the texture is not meant to be very thick, and it's also not meant to be very runny, because if you make this thing runny after cooking the upper, it will turn out like some part is going to be thick, sometimes some part is going to be watery, like your upper will just be a mess. It will just turn out to be a total mess. At this point, remember I said the upper is not meant to be thick, right? So my mom has not gotten the consistency she wants, so she had to go in with more water. So a hot water and a cold water. Don't forget, don't go and add cold water and then you just mix it like that. No, it's not going to come out well. So she had to add water because she has not gotten that consistency she wants. So as you can see, it's now. So do you see the consistency? So this is the consistency you need to have. Yes, if you've gotten this consistency, then just know that your bar will come out well. And so next is time to put in the ingredients, the remaining ingredients. So the only thing you need for this upper is just your pepper and salt. You don't need your seasoning cube, onions and all that. No, that's not necessary. So just your pepper and salt will do for this particular recipe. So she has gone in with her pepper, and next is to go in with salt. So make sure you gauge the amount of salt you're going in with before you go and full salt, and then your upper will be very salty. So do you see the amount of salt that she's going to put? So make sure you gauge the amount of salt so that it will not turn out salty. So I don't know, some people say okpa is a snack, some say it's a meal, but what do you think? Do you think okpa is actually a snack? Because as far as I'm concerned, okpa can be a snack and it can be a meal at the same time. It depends on what you combine it with. Okpa can be combined with, you can combine your okpa with pap. You can eat okpa with pap, with mineral, like let's say Coke. You can also eat it like that. But I feel like when you eat okpa and pap, that is when okpa is a meal. But when you eat okpa alone, like you just eat okpa and drink water, I feel like that's when it's a snack. Guys, what do you think? Do you think okpa is a snack or a meal? Please let me know in the comment section. So here she's done tying the okpa, and as you can see, like I told you before, you're going to make sure there are no air spaces inside the nylon of the okpa. So you tie it tight. Yes, and when doing this, make sure you're using a good nylon. There was a time when we wanted to make moi moi, and I was the one that bought the nylon. this man, like I asked him, is this nylon a good nylon? And he said yes. Market people now, businessmen, they want to sell, so they'll try as much as possible to convince you. Do you know, after buying that nylon, when I came back home, when we were tying the moi into the nylon was just tearing and tearing and tearing. So make sure you buy a very good nylon. I don't know. The prices of things are increasing in the market, yet we're not getting the quality we actually deserve. So that was how the nylon was just tearing. So make sure you get a very good nylon and then tie it tight. Yes, when you tie it tight, it will give you that, that actual shape and look you like. Do you know, guys, these days okpa is very expensive. Do you know this size now that she tied into the nylon in the market is sold for 500 naira, if not more. So it's time to put the okpa. So make sure the water in your pot has boiled before you start putting this okpa. Don't go and put the okpa when the water is still cold. Make sure it's boiled. Then before you put the okpa, you're going to shake it very well, because at this point some part of the okpa has already settled down the nylon. So you are going to have to shake it properly, as in shake it to be uniform, so that you have a homogeneous mixture. As you can see, do you see the white part? Do you see that part that has settled down the nylon? If you just put this upper like that into the pot, you see that part, when it's done cooking, right, that part is going to be separate, like it's going to be white, and then the other part is going to be yellow or whatever color. Like your upper is just going to be two different, it's going to be separated into two different segments. Like, you will definitely not like it. So you have to shake it to get a homogeneous mixture. You have to shake it so that the mixture will be uniform, so that it can give you what you want. If you miss this step and just put it into the pot like that, then my dear, all your efforts will just go to waste. So guys, shake it very, very well, shake it properly, and make sure the mixture is uniform. So at this point, we're done putting the okpa into the pot, and as you can see, it's boiling. My camera is not actually doing justice to this okpa, because my camera light was on and I didn't even really notice. It's not showing the actual color of this okpa. So I had to off the light of the camera to show you the actual color. So do you see, this is what the okpa actually looks like. So now the okpa is ready, and it's time to cut it and show you what it looks like. So as you can see, do you see how fluffy it is? That's what I told you. When you miss these steps, like in life, there's no shortcuts. If you miss any of these steps, you will not get what you want. So you have to follow the steps closely, as in closely. So do you see the inner part of the okpa? This okpa came out so nice. Thumbs up to my mom, and ensure that you give me a thumbs up. Yes, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to